If you're going to Oslo and you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, the Oslo Pass is the way to go. And the best option for the Oslo Pass is the 72-hour pass. It's only $67 for seniors over 67, and it's about $84 for adults over 18. We found the pass invaluable, and we certainly got our money's worth out of it. It gives you access to over 30 museums, unlimited access on the public transportation and most of the ferries in and around the city, and it even gives you a local train access to and from the airport. This pass is incredible. And we're going to be taking a look at some of the museums that we were able to cram into 72 hours. So, come along. We activated our Oslo Pass at the Edvard Munch Museum, a 13-story, 11-gallery, state-of-the-art museum. Just note that the Munch Museum is the most popular of all of the Oslo museums, and you have to have a time ticket. Next, we set sail aboard the original wooden 1893 Fram sailing ship. The Fram Museum is dedicated to telling the story of Norwegian polar exploration. The continuous 270-degree surround film depicts the Fram's first voyage, charting the Northwest Passage, which left the Fram trapped in ice for 3 years. Right next to the Fram Museum is the Kon-Tiki Museum, famous for Thor Heyerdahl, who crossed the Pacific Ocean on the balsa wood raft Kon-Tiki in 1947. He followed this up with spectacular expeditions on the reed boats Ra and Tigris. Next, we went to the Norwegian Maritime Museum. All three of these museums are located in Bygde, a short distance from the center of Oslo and easily reached by bus or, in the summer season, by ferry from the City Hall quayside. The Vigeland Sculpture Museum contains the designs for Vigeland Park and plaster models for the 200 sculptures in the park. The Vigeland Sculpture Museum is located in the studio and home of Gustav Vigeland, who is Norway's most famous sculptor. Vigeland's fountain is the oldest sculpture in the park. In the middle of the pool, 6 giants hold up the large saucer-shaped bowl. The fountain has been interpreted as an expression of man's struggle with the burdens of life. Around the fountain stand 20 groups of trees. The museum also has examples of the casting process.
We are in Vigeland Park, which is the sculptor Vigeland. We went to his museum the other day and saw all the originals in plaster, and now we're seeing them in bronze executed here in the park, which culminates in a fountain and the monolith that we will be walking up to shortly. It's a beautiful day here. We're in the Rose Garden right now.
The Vigeland monolith stands 17 meters and symbolizes every aspect of human life, where 121 human figures are intertwined, reaching upward toward the heavens. We are
standing in front of the center where they award the Nobel Peace Prize, Alfred Nobel's Peace Prize.
Who made his fortune in dynamite and turned it around to a good thing. So,
beautiful sunny day here in Oslo.
Amazing day. The Nobel Peace Center's objective is to promote peace and conflict resolution by using the Nobel Peace Prize as a catalyst for change. The center provides information about the Nobel Peace Prize, the laureates, and their work. The Peace Prize medal was designed by Gustav Vigeland. we are on top of the National Museum, overlooking the bay. And up here on the top of the museum, the National Museum, is a sod house. It smells lovely. And it's very roomy.
Very roomy.
And it's covered inside. And you can see how gigantic the National Museum is. It's 3 floors. We've been here for almost 2 hours so far. And we're just barely getting through it. And it's right next door to the Nobel Peace Prize Center. The National contains around 6,500 works from Norway's largest collection of art, architecture, and design. A walk along Oslo's new harborfront promenade is an urban adventure filled with fantastic restaurants, world-class architecture, culture, museums, and even a beach. What do you think, sweetie?
I think it's pretty cool to have a beach in the middle of the city. It looks a little chilly though.
And it's also in the middle of a museum.
Yeah.
Who knew? But that's the Modern Art Museum. The highlight of the Oslo Modern Art Museum was its design and location. We weren't that impressed with the current exhibit, but the price is right with the Oslo Pass. Ibsen's house and museum is a must-see for Ibsen fans. The Ibsen Museum occupies the last home of the playwright Henrik Ibsen and is only available through a guided tour. But the tours are great. The Norse Folk Museum preserves Norway's culture through its music, dance, costumes, and architecture. One of the musicians, Katja, gave Barb and I a taste of traditional Norwegian fiddle music. The Folk Museum is Norway's largest open-air museum and one of Oslo's most popular attractions. The museum includes more than 140 buildings, mostly from the 17th and 18th century, gathered from around the country, rebuilt and organized according to region of origin. Weekends are the best time to visit the museum with the most activities going on. And if you go, plan on spending at least 6 hours there. It's pretty big. The Oslo Opera House is a huge inner space with spectacular design features and a roof that is open to the public.
Another beautiful day in Oslo. We are on the roof of the Opera House, looking back to the Munch Museum, the big carousel. There's a huge statue over there that looks like the one in Copenhagen, and a beautiful beach where people can just dive into the water.
Oslo is extremely family-friendly with public spaces that are world-class, like the main library across from the Opera House. This library contains a movie theater, movie workshops, gaming zones, lounges, a restaurant, and even a boardwalk with benches through an artificial grassland. No wonder Oslo is the greenest city on earth. The proof is in the sweet smell of clean air, a rarity these days. So now that we've gone through the weeds, the bottom line on the Oslo Pass savings for adults over a 3-day period is around $90 per person. If this video was helpful to you, please click the like button, subscribe, check out our other videos, and have a great trip. Where are we?
The mosquitoes got me in the marsh in the library.